Welcome to Deep Thoughts, a podcast designed to take you on an introspective journey into the mindsets and strategies that fuel personal growth. In every episode, we'll explore the intersection of psychology, spirituality, and real-world tactics, guiding you through powerful methods to elevate your health, wealth, relationships, and overall well-being. From deep dives into transformative habits and mindsets to candid discussions about the challenges we face in today's fast-paced world, Deep Thoughts is here to remind you of the untapped potential that lies within. If you're ready to disconnect from the distractions and connect with the tools and insights needed to create lasting change, this show is your sanctuary for self-discovery and empowerment. Tune in, reflect, and take action towards a more vibrant and fulfilling life.
Okay, so, who doesn't love ordering takeout? You know, after a long day, just a few taps on your phone, done. Or same-day delivery. The best, right? But what if I told you this quest for constant comfort and convenience, it might actually be holding you back?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. That's what we're diving into today. What is the unexpected price of living life on easy mode? We've got some really thought-provoking pieces, articles, blog posts. We even found this philosophical take on a Substack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're all grappling with this idea of convenience.
It's true. It really makes you think about, that desire for comfort we all have. It's like it's ingrained in us, right? Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, like it's a survival thing.
Right.
But it makes you wonder, in this day and age with convenience everywhere, are those instincts, those survival instincts, are they working against us now?
That's a really great question. And it makes me think about this LinkedIn article we read by Christopher Bramley, Comfort Zones, I think it was called.
Okay.
Yeah. He was talking about how we all need those comfort zones, right? For rest and recovery, it's essential. But, and this is key, he was saying, if we're always playing it safe, always inside those comfortable boundaries, we might be missing out on growth opportunities.
Yeah, and it's not about jumping out of planes or anything drastic.
Yeah.
Bramley was saying that comfort zones, it's not all or nothing. You know what I mean? It's more about finding those little space, those incremental steps outside that zone where you're challenged just enough to grow.
So you're not suggesting we abandon all convenience and, go live like cave people? Or...
No, not at all. It's more about, I think, recognizing when that desire for comfort, when it might be leading us away from something we really want.
Okay, so choosing comfort over our goals, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It reminds me of this concept of, have you heard of eustress?
Eustress? I don't think so.
So we were reading this piece, Price of Convenience, Varun Nayak, on Substack.
Okay, and he talks about eustress. It's basically that good kind of stress, the kind you get from, pushing your limits.
Okay.
Learning new things,
Sure.
Tackling a challenge. And he says it's what helps us build resilience and grow stronger mentally and physically.
So good stress, bad stress.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about it. Think about what happens to your muscles when you don't use them.
Right. They atrophy.
Exactly. They atrophy. And Nayak, he argues it's the same with our minds.
Oh, wow.
He's suggesting that by constantly choosing the easy way out, we're actually contributing to a kind of mental atrophy. You ever get that feeling of brain fog after scrolling online for hours?
All the time. Right.
That's our brain craving stimulation. It needs a challenge, and easy access to information. It doesn't always equal knowledge.
Yeah.
Think about it. Are you more likely to remember something you read in a tweet or something you really sat with and thought about, really engaged with?
Yeah.
There's a difference between being informed and actually understanding something.
And it's not just our brains, right? This whole culture of convenience, it's everywhere.
It really is.
This blog post we read, The Cost of Convenience by Joshua Becker, he breaks it down so well, how we consume media, the food we eat, even just getting groceries.
Yeah, I mean, what really struck me about Becker's point was how companies, how they've figured out how to capitalize on this need for convenience. He had this example, Domino's Pizza.
Okay.
And their founder, he said something like, "We don't sell pizza." He's like, "We sell delivery."
Wow, that's really true when you think about it.
Right. It just shows how we're willing to pay more.
Yeah.
For that ease and that speed.
And it's not always just about the money, is it? Like Becker was talking about, it's almost every part of our lives. Financially, yeah, those delivery fees and all the little convenience charges, they add up. But it's also our health.
Right.
We choose prepackaged food, processed food for that quick fix. And what about the environmental impact? Like all that extra packaging, all the waste from needing everything instantly?
It really is like this domino effect, don't you think? Like we prioritize convenience in one area, and then it just kind of spills over into everything.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we're buying pre-chopped veggies,
Yeah.
instead of just taking a minute to chop them ourselves, or those single-serve portions, because it's just easier.
Oh yeah, guilty of that one. Those pre-cut veggies sometimes. It's just so easy.
Yeah.
But you know what I thought was really interesting what Becker said was how it affects our intentionality.
Yeah.
When we're, constantly on autopilot, choosing the easiest option, are we really present, or are we just going through the motions and missing out on growth and connection?
Yeah. It's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
Because if we aren't present, I mean, that leads to a lot of other problems.
Right. Yeah.
Becca was talking about, mindless consumption, less perseverance. We have fewer chances to learn and grow. It's like we're trading long-term fulfillment for this short-term ease, and we don't even realize we're doing it.
So how do we break free if we're sacrificing so much in the name of convenience? How do we reclaim our intentionality and actually make choices that match our goals?
Well, that's where this blog post from the Reclaim movement came in, right?
Yeah.
They had this really interesting concept they call an awareness day.
An awareness day.
Yeah. Basically, it's about actively noticing, all the things in our lives that are designed to reduce movement and effort. And often that's not doing us any favors.
An awareness day. Okay, I like that. Because it's not about, suddenly cutting out all convenience, like going cold turkey or going to live in a cabin in the woods. It's just about noticing those moments, when we're choosing comfort over challenge and maybe just asking ourselves, like, is this really working for me?
Exactly. And what I thought was smart about their approach, the Reclaim movement, was that they talk about how our environments are like designed to minimize discomfort.
Okay.
You think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Escalators everywhere. We've got remote controls, even our office chairs. They're all ergonomic.
Yeah.
And while those things are good, they can also make us less tolerant of discomfort.
Yeah.
Even a little bit.
So we're like conditioned to just avoid discomfort, it seems like.
Yeah, in a way, I think we are. And the Reclaim movement folks, they say that aversion to discomfort, it can actually be bad for us, like for our well-being. And they were saying, like, the more used to comfort we get, the less resilient we become, mentally and physically.
Okay, so how do we actually use this awareness day idea to break free? What can we actually do to be okay with a little discomfort in our lives?
Well, they had some pretty simple ideas. The Reclaim movement, like choosing to walk or bike instead of automatically driving, even if it takes a little longer, Or what about taking the stairs instead of the elevator? It all adds up.
Okay, yeah. I have to admit, the elevator is my go-to, especially at the end of the day.
Right. But it's like those little things, like even just carrying your groceries instead of using a cart. It all makes a difference. Little ways to challenge ourselves physically, right?
Yeah.
Get used to being uncomfortable.
That makes me think about something else. This idea that, like, discomfort can actually make us grow.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like kind of backwards, right? We want to avoid pain, but now we're saying maybe we should, like, lean into it a little.
It's more about, I think, changing how we think about being uncomfortable. Like the Reclaim movement, they talk about this difference between discomfort and, like, actual pain, right?
Right.
Like discomfort, that's just that feeling when you're pushing yourself, when you're learning something new and it feels weird or hard, but that's where the growth happens, right?
So it's not about, like, purposely hurting ourselves or anything. It's more about being okay with discomfort because it's part of growing. If we avoid it all the time, we might miss out.
Exactly. And this isn't just about, like, physical stuff,
Oh, okay.
It's about our relationships, our jobs, anything where we want to grow and really feel fulfilled. Having those tough conversations we don't want to have, or trying to learn new things, even if we're scared of messing up.
So as we wrap up this deep dive then on, the unexpected cost of comfort, it sounds like it's not about, like, never having convenience, right? Or living like a monk or something. It's more about finding that middle ground.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Knowing when when wanting things to be easy is actually good for us, and when it might be holding us back from something better.
It's like asking ourselves, what am I really going for here?
Uh,
Am I choosing the easy thing now, or am I choosing what will make me feel really good later? It's something to think about.
Definitely, because at the end of the day, I think we all want to be comfortable and also feel like our lives have meaning. And maybe those two things can go together. Maybe it's about being okay with a little discomfort when we're trying to grow, knowing that those challenges, they can help us find our strengths and really feel fulfilled. So next time you're about to choose the easy way, take a second, ask yourself, is this really, really what's best for me? The answer might surprise you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Deep Thoughts Podcast. I hope you found insights and inspiration to take with you on your journey of self-growth. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated on new releases and exclusive content. See you next time, where we'll continue to help you grow and explore your full potential.